in that there. I just want the ring back. I don't care about anything else. They can keep the rest of the jewellery, they can keep the money, they can keep the phone. I just want the part of him back.
Coronation Street is set to celebrate its 10,000th Coronation Street is set to celebrate its 10,000th historical moment in the Manchester-based soap set to be a historical moment in the Manchester-based soap history.
Hello and welcome to Quays News. I'm Joe Kelly.
And I'm Bronwyn Wilson. Our top story today, 300 people have tested positive for the coronavirus on board the Diamond Princess, docked in the Japanese port of Yokohama. Our health correspondent, Christopher Rice, has the latest.
Hi Chris, thanks for joining us in the studio. So what's the lowdown?
So Joe, the virus is showing no signs of slowing down. The death toll is now at 493 and 25,000 people worldwide have tested positive for it. Like you said, the people tested positive in Yokohama on board the ship, and one of them is understood to be British. And here in the UK, they're sending another rescue flight to Wuhan on Sunday to bring people back. And we're being told that they're considering a blanket ban on direct flights to and from China, and also banning any foreign nationals coming into the country who may have been to China within the past 14 days.
And what is the advice that's being communicated to members of the public?
If anyone as a member of the public thinks that they could have coronavirus, they are being told to stay indoors, not to go to their local doctors. You should call NHS 111 and practice good hygiene.
Excellent. And our reporters went out earlier to speak to some students at the University of Salford.
I heard about it on social media because I'm a moderator on a health and fitness site for virtual challenges, and all of our medals are made in China. And they've all been held at the moment, so because of the coronavirus the factories now have been closed down.
My daughter's meant to be going on a school trip in July to China, to Beijing, and I don't think that'll go ahead. I think a lot of parents are panicking.
Yeah, I think if you have it, then yes. Obviously the chances, it's not great chances, like 500 out of 17,000 yet.
In the UK I feel perfectly safe. Not heading to China, so...
Thanks again to Christopher for keeping us up to date. Next, UK firefighters are on their way to Australia to help fight the bushfires, and some books from Wigan will be going too. Almost 2,000 books have been collected so far, and they are to be sent to some of the schools affected by the bushfires. Hannah Bray has more.
Australia seems like a million miles away, but a small town like Wigan are doing their bit to help out as much as possible.
Hiya, my name's Councillor Chris Reedy and I'm the Cabinet Member for Communities at Wigan Council. We all know about the devastation that the bushfires have had in Australia on livelihoods, on businesses, even fatalities and the animals, but also one thing that sprung to mind is the devastation it's had on some local schools in Australia. So what we had is a keen-eyed employee of ours who saw something in Cheshire. A school was collecting for schools in Australia and came on to us and asked us about the boot cleansing scheme that Wigan have and wondered if we could do something there. The boot cleansing scheme is something that actually every 3 months we look at what books are being let out, are the ones that are not being used anymore, and we usually give them to charity or they go to waste or whatever. We thought this was an ideal opportunity. So in this instance we've got 1,800, 2,000 books that we're going to be sending over to Australia with the school in Sandbach, I think it is, in Cheshire, just to help them over there. And I think there's a couple of elements really for us at Wigan. We always like to be first, so it's a first for Wigan, and it's the first, it looks like, in the country that we're actually looking to helping people. And secondly, I think it's for people in Australia to know that we're actually thinking about them. And you know, we all talk the talk, and it's about walking the walk really for us, and making sure that they know that people are understanding what they're going through, and showing that we do care about them.
Would there be something else that the council might do to sort of develop into more things maybe?
I think the Australian issue, we don't know how that's going to go, because naturally they'll be building themselves and doing whatever, and we can help it. If we can help in other ways with other things to the people in Australia, we will do. And with the deal in Wigan, that's part of what we do in Wigan with the deal, is people playing their part of it within the communities, and that's a really successful scheme which we've been doing for about 5 or 6 years now. So that's the volunteers doing it. So actually we're already doing it. If anybody wants to go onto the council website, they can have a look at that and look at the book title. Naturally, we don't know what the present situation is, whether they've got enough books, but clearly we will take them somewhere along the line and do that, because it's a really good charity that's going on with the book title. So they already are looking at deprived areas and helping people all over the world.
A Salford woman has had her ring stolen, but what the ring holds within it is much more valuable than the ring itself. Our reporter Zaina Zanati went out and spoke to her.
Losing a child is one of the hardest things in life. But for this woman, she's had to go through that pain twice. After suffering a miscarriage at 23 weeks, Tanya had her baby's ashes placed in a teddy bear and a ring that was stolen from her right outside of her home. Tanya said that this is where the incident took place, but what's most unsettling to her is that it's just minutes away from where she lives.
I've lived here 7 years and I've never heard of anything like it.
Well, it's a shame that it happened to begin with, because she's living here so many years now, and if you can't be comfy where you live, can you be comfy anywhere in the world?
We wanted him to be close to us, so that's why he's in the rings and why he's in that bear. I just want the ring back. I don't care about anything else. They can keep the rest of the jewellery, they can keep the money, they can keep the phone. I just want the part of him back.
Tanya's partner ran outside, but by then there was nothing to see.
I don't know will that happen, but that would be nice, just to have it back, because it meant too much. So it was very, very precious, and even, it's not about the money. The money can go. It's just when it took something so special, it's very hard to get over. Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing that's been in our minds. It's irreplaceable. You know, you can't really put a price on it.
Please give me my son back. All I want is my baby boy back. Nothing else matters. Just the ring with him in it.
A Facebook post made on Friday has already gained over 1,700 shares. Tanya says she hopes that someone will have a conscience and turn it in.
People in Hyde have come together to protest planning proposals on the Grade 2 listed Godley Hall Inn. Developers want to convert the 190-year-old pub into flats. Bronwyn Wilton has more.
I'm Godley Ward Councillor. One of the issues here, this is a listed building, it's a very old pub, and there is obviously a lot of community involvement in this. People want to save it as a community asset, which I fully support, and that's what we need to do.
We're here to support the local people who use the pub, but we use it a lot because we meet a lot of friends here, and we have relatives that come up from down south that used to live around here, so it's our meeting point for everybody, if you like.
And what's happening to Godley Hall Inn pub at the moment, which is why everyone's in today?
I think everybody's concerned because it's gone up for sale and they don't want it to be sold to developers, so people are trying to get together and rally around to give some support and maybe get other people interested that would keep it as a pub.
And why is it so important to residents?
Because as you can see, it's where everybody comes and meets up. It's social, isn't it? There's not many local social pubs about anymore. It's part of everybody's day-to-day life.
Last Sunday was World Ukulele Day. Hundreds of ukulele enthusiasts gathered in Liverpool to celebrate and raise money for charity. Siobhan Fletcher went out to the event.
Over 250 ukulele players from across the region gathered at Liverpool 1 this Sunday to celebrate World Ukulele Day. After a day of busking around the city, they converged for a mega busk to raise money for Clatterbridge Cancer Charity.
Clatterbridge Cancer Charity is very dear to our hearts for what it does. There's some people living with cancer now who are actually playing ukulele today, so yeah, it's a cause that we all support. It's the second time we've done it. We did it last year. Basically, we just thought we'd get out and play ukuleles on the street and celebrate the day. It's 250 musicians, so we're hoping to have 300 people play. We've got 6 stages working today. We've got lots of people out there collecting money.
In 2019, at their inaugural Megabusk, ukulele players from across the region raised more than £3,000, an amount they're hoping to beat this time around.
The Digital Phoenix Art Club, organised by Alan Worthington, met for the second time yesterday. The group aims to help people with health conditions to find a few hours of serenity. Freya Chappell has more.
Here at Eccles Gateway, the Digital Phoenix Art Club is an art club with a difference. Set up with meditation music and a projected image rather than a live model, the club aims to help those with physical and mental health conditions escape reality for a few hours of respite.
So, as part of the Digital Phoenix Society, the thing we triumph the most is about the positivity of using technology. Because we hear a lot of scare stories in the news about, you know, oh, Facebook is evil and, oh, we're all going to get taken over by robots and all that. But as you can imagine, to someone with mental health and anxiety, that is a serious put-off for technology. So as you can see with the projector here and the computer, we're using technology in a positive way to influence people. I started the Digital Phoenix Society as a whole in August last year. This art group started in January. If they come in, you know, feeling down and they leave a smile on their face, my job's done. Growing up, I had a lot of health problems, and, you know, I was growing up in a day when it's not manly to talk about your health and all that. So I let off steam through my artwork, you know, getting things off my chest with my artwork, taking the frustrations out on a canvas, that sort of thing.
I first met Alan as a 14-year-old student when I was teaching art design at Millside High School. It's lovely to see how he's developed that confidence and watch him spread it everywhere. I think I'm so proud of him.
Here at Phoenix Digital Art Club, Alan has used his own experiences to help those in the community of Eccles. He hopes to expand the groups so that they can meet in weekly sessions and continue to spread the peace. Freya Chappell, Quays News.
Fans of Coronation Street are in for a treat this Friday when the show heads to Blackpool for episode number 10,000. We sent Amy Allen to Weatherfield to find out more.
Coronation Street is celebrating its 10,000th episode this
Is
coming Friday, which will see members of the cast head to Blackpool. The Manchester-based soap is also celebrating its 60th anniversary this year, making it the longest-running continuing drama on TV. The show, created by Salford-born Tony Warren, started back in December 1960 and was filmed at the legendary Granada Studios on Quays Street before moving to its new home at Media City, UK in January 20.
Over the decades, Coronation Street has tackled issues from teenage pregnancy to male suicide. It is these storylines that keep the fans gripped to the show and wanting more. Speaking of this week's special episode, producer Ian McLeod said it's uniquely Corrie. Funny, poignant and characterful. It really is a great exhibition of Coronation Street, its classic qualities, and it's the perfect way to start a new decade on the cobbles.
The hour-long special this Friday will allow the fans to take a trip down memory lane, and with one resident realising the time has come to leave the street for pastures new. With the soap going from strength to strength and being popular all over the world, fans will probably have another 60 years of drama to look forward to. Amy Allen, Quays News, Media City, UK.
Now for the weather was Thomas Biddy.
So, with the weather tonight, we are looking at some chilly and dry weather with lows of 2 degrees Celsius. Moving on to tomorrow, which will lift up in the afternoon, give us some bright spells, with highs of 8 degrees Celsius. Moving on to Friday, we have some sunny spells that will continue throughout the day, but are followed by a yellow wind warning. So be sure to wrap up warm at the weekend if you're heading down to the Salford City or Manchester City football games, as it will be a strong gales and chance of rain.
That's all for today. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.